and welcome to this theater talk for Fallen Angels by Noël Coward. My name is Chris Bell, and I'm a teaching artist here at Roundabout Theater Company.
Hello, my name is Heidi Stallings, and I'm also a teaching artist at Roundabout Theater Company. And Chris and I will be covering a little bit about what the play is about, and also what we're excited to see as both artists and audience members.
Fallen Angels is a comedy of bad manners featuring two upper-class women, Julia and Jane. Now, while their husbands are away, they share a few toasts to their pre-marital dalliances with the same man who just might be en route from France. This is an intoxicating romp from one of theater comedy's great masters, Noël Coward.
Yes, it is indeed a comedy written in 1923 by the esteemed playwright Sir Noël Coward, known for his sparkling wit and his marvelous dialogue. His most famous plays include Blithe Spirit and Private Lives, which actually, Chris, Private Lives is said to be modeled on Fallen Angels. Yes, due to some parallels that they share. Both plays are concerned with, and the drama is fueled by the return of a former mutual lover.
Okay, Heidi, so what were your first impressions of the play?
Two things, the comedy and the modernity of the play. Now, I know that I am looking at this play through a 21st century lens, but I couldn't help but be struck by how modern and perhaps a little scandalous this play may have felt to an audience in 1925. I mean, here we have two married women, upper-class British women, openly discussing relationships, past relationships, and clearly defying and challenging the established morals of the day.
100. This makes me think about how far we've come and also how much things have stayed the same. In fact, when I was reading this for the first time, it made me think about today's reality television.
Yeah.
It's kind of a proto-reality show, really. There's these martinis, there's these confessional style monologues, right? So here are my top 5 reasons why I believe the housewife formula of glamour, chaos, and the timeless tension between ardor and decency feels ripped from the pages of Fallen Angels. Number 1, glamorous married women with free time and a lot of feelings. In Fallen Angels, Julia and Jane are upper-class women who are left alone by their husbands, just like in the Housewives franchise, where we see these women navigating personal dramas while their partners are absent. 2, champagne as a catalyst. Julia and Jane go from martinis to champagne to brandy, getting progressively more tipsy, just like every one of those dinner parties you see on Housewives. Alcohol is a great instigator and catalyst. 3, frenemy dynamics. Julia and Jane are best friends until
Maurice appears.
Then the claws come out. Just like on Housewives, where loyalty is conditional and the hatchet rarely remains buried. Number 4, marriage as a performance. The women in Fallen Angels are constantly navigating how they're supposed to behave,
instead of how they want to behave.
Exactly, just like on Housewives, where these women on television constantly have to navigate ambition, glamour, and motherhood. Number 5, timeless themes in a changing world. Now, in 1925, these frank discussions of female desire and power dynamics within relationships and agency of women were taboo subjects to talk about. And I don't think that's changed very much today, as we can see during our Housewives watching.
You know, it seems so unfair that men should have the monopoly on wild oats.
They haven't, but it's our job to make them think that they have. I love that line from the play.
Speaking of taboo, the play ran into some trouble with the British government on the grounds that the morals of the two main characters would cause too great a scandal. But happily the play went on, and as one official wrote, and I quote, "I take the view that the whole thing is so much unreal farcical comedy that, subject to a few modifications in the dialogue, it can pass." And here we are, over 100 years later, and the play still resonates and still pushes boundaries.
Totally. And you mentioned the word farce. And so while Noël Coward was writing this in 1923, he took some elements from the French farce style of writing. And we see some of this in the stock characters, such as the cunning servant, the scheming wives, and the deceived husband.
And fast-paced dialogue, mistaken identities, and multiple entrances and exits.
And the slamming doors.
Doors.
In addition to the doors, there are several stage elements that are very clearly defined within the script, and I'm interested in seeing how those are realized. I'm also interested in the food, right? The second act takes place during a dinner, and I'm a big foodie. I love seeing people eat on stage. I'm really ready for that. What are you ready for?
I'm ready to see Kelli O'Hara and Rose Byrne, two powerhouse actresses, take these juicy female comic roles head on. I'm so curious as to how they're going to handle the physical comedy of the farce, but also they run the gamut. I mean, the emotions, there's so many emotions in this play, from, wistful, yearning for the past to, really kind of a little bit of anger about, their prescribed roles in society. And it is a comedy, and certainly, but there's a great deal at stake for both of these women in this play.
This reminds me of a bit of dialogue from the play, if you'll help me out here.
Of course. Okay.
Oh, Jane, darling, how miserable I am.
Nonsense. You're thoroughly thrilled and excited.
Not altogether. I'm torn between my better self and my worse self. I never realized there were two of me until this moment, so clearly defined. I want terribly badly to be a true and faithful wife and look after Fred and live in peace. And I want terribly to have violent and illicit love made to me and be frenziedly happy and supremely miserable.
Don't we all? And if you'd like to learn more about the play, we invite you to visit our Upstage Playgoer's Guide.
And we'll see you at the theater.